What is up and welcome back. Today we have the long-awaited performance review of the Way of Wade WoW 10s. Is that redundant? Way of Wade WoW 10. Anyway, long-awaited, highly requested video on the WoW 10s in the low particularly. A lot of you have been asking me on my thoughts on these. I got these about 3 weeks to a month ago and have been playing them actually a lot, which is a good sign. Different types of courts, so sport court, hardwood, dusky court, clean court, different positions. So outside hitter, setter, libero, you name it, other than middle. I've been playing in it. Right off the bat, I'm just gonna say it. These are a very solid performer, and I really like the shoe. So initially, I was gonna film this review on Tuesday night. Game 1, Dubs-Lakers matchup, and we lost. And D'Lo wears the WoW 10s and kind of cooked us. So did AD. He wears LeBron's, but I was not in the mood to make this video after that. And so here we are, Thursday night, post game 2. We won. Clay dropped 30, so now I'm in the mood. Starting off with the fit and the materials, it's mostly a mesh throughout the whole upper, so very lightweight, very breathable, and conforms to your foot pretty well. It's a little bit on the scratchy side, so that type of material. And then on the lateral side, most of the lateral side is contained with a TPU overlay, which helps a lot for lateral push-offs and containment. So I felt very secure in the forefoot and midfoot. Fit is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite feature of the shoe. I'll get into that a little bit more later. There's also some synthetic leather around where the laces are, so that adds a little bit more durability, especially for someone like me who likes to crank down on their laces. And then moving back to the ankle and collar area, there is some padding, nothing too crazy. I would say if you have the LeBron 20s, the padding on that is a little bit more substantial, but I did like what they did here. Enough padding for me to feel it. As we move to the medial side of the shoe, there's the same TPU overlay on the midsole. We have the bolt here, which is kind of iridescent, so it will change colors depending on what angle you're viewing it at. The same mesh that we saw on the forefoot. And then there's also fuse around the outside part of the shoe, which will help for better durability, especially if you are a toe dragger or you like to slide your feet on the ground, different angles. So overall, there's nothing too fancy or premium about the materials they picked, which is unfortunate because it is a very expensive shoe. So for the lows, $199, for the highs or mids, $125. So it's a pretty high price point. Very basic materials, but they work really well, and I love the fit on these shoes. So these are definitely on the snug side of the fit. So if you love that, then I would say go true to size. If you are someone who likes a little bit of room between the end of your toe and the shoe, then I would recommend going up a half size. I think in general, Leaning recommends going up a half size, but so far I like true to size in Leaning shoes, so that's what I like. But if you're a wide footer or you like a little bit more space in your shoe, then I would consider going up half a size. And for me, who went true to size and like the snug fit, it's not that easy getting your foot into the shoe if you don't fully unlace. So that was one thing I do want to mention, is that to get your foot comfortably into the shoe where you're not jamming it in, you're gonna have to unlace it if you go true to size. So if you don't like doing that, then maybe go up half a size. So another thing, the tongue is, I think the term is gusseted, where it's not freely moving and it's actually attached to the shoe at the halfway point, which I like. So that is another feature of the shoe. So the tongue will stay in place, it doesn't move around. But yeah, fit felt great. If I were to compare it to another shoe, I would say the Kobe 11. So if you have Kobe 11s, I really like the fit of the Kobe 11s. Traction was not good, but that fit made me feel like the shoe was literally an extension of my foot. And yeah, my foot was not going anywhere. So fit is great on these shoes. So moving on to traction, Leaning decided to go with a more circular traction pattern on these shoes. So on the heel, they are thin concentric circles, and on the forefoot of the shoe, also thin concentric circles with more of a zigzag pattern. And then as far as the rubber compound, these are solid rubber, and they feel on the medium side, medium to soft side of things, but these bit the floor really well. Like traction, if fit is like my favorite part, traction is a very close second because, wow, these grip the floor really well. On dusty courts, you do have to wipe, but you have to wipe with any shoe. But on clean courts, these performed amazing. They squeak, they bite the floor really well. If I don't have to think about traction, then I know the traction is working well. But once I'm like, oh man, I have to wipe every other rally or every dead ball, that's when I know I'm like, okay, this traction is not that great. So it could be a combination of things. It could be the, rubber compound, the thickness of the grooves, the traction pattern, the court you're playing on. But in general, on sport court, these played really well as well. So traction is like very solid. I did not have to worry about it at all. Unless you're on a dusty court, then you're gonna have to worry about it anyway. Traction on these are definitely top tier. I would not recommend taking them outdoors because like I said, rubber compound is more on the soft medium side and the grooves are fairly thin. So I'm pretty sure these would lose their traction really fast outdoor. Plus you paid $200 for the shoes. So you would want them to last longer. But traction, great. So for the cushioning of the shoe, the Wild 10s have Li-Ning's flagship cushioning, which is Boom, and it's full length. You can see here that the heel is pretty thick. So luckily the TPU overlay, which goes around the midsole of the shoe, is fairly soft. So you do get a lot of compression in the heel. So if you are a heel striker or you land on your heel for whatever reason, there is a lot of cushion and support in the heel. As we move to the forefoot, that Boom cushioning actually decreases. On the lows, on Li-Ning's website, it says 5% more responsiveness in the forefoot. I don't know what that really means. Is it comparing it to the heel? Is it comparing it to the highs or the mids? I'm not that sure. There is still Boom in the forefoot, and you do feel it when you are on your forefoot or your toes or you're jumping or you're landing, and it feels great. I think once you move towards the forefoot, it's definitely more on the responsive cushioning side of things. I wouldn't describe it as bouncy. I would probably describe it more as springy, which you're probably like, dude, that's a synonym, which it is, but there's not as much impact protection as I thought there would be, but it still feels great. When I say springy, I think it's because the Boom cushioning and the carbon fiber plate that they have along the arch of the shoe. So this does provide a lot of forefoot flex. So you can see it's kind of hard to bend the shoe. So when you land or you're jumping off your forefoot, right, it's more of the spring action from the carbon fiber plates and the Boom cushioning versus if like you're just comparing it to Zoom Air, which that is bouncy, right? You're literally bouncing on air. This is like you're on Boom and you have the forefoot flex of the carbon fiber plate. So those in conjunction with each other make this shoe more springy in my opinion. So I feel very like fast and agile when I'm wearing these shoes. And that is a combination of the cushion setup, the carbon fiber plate, and the fit, and the shoe being lightweight. Like the combination of all of those things make this like a very solid, strong package. So going into my final thoughts, I really like the shoe. This is definitely cracking the rotation, so I will always think of it as an option to put in my bag. Like if I'm playing, if you know me, I always bring at least 2 pairs of shoes, and I'm going to be thinking about, do I want to bring the Wild 10s? Because man, these are legit. Are they worth $199? I'm gonna say probably yes. Like there's not a lot of shoes where I'm like, dude, I want a second pair for sure. I know they recently dropped the White Hot colorway, I think is what it's called, which is like mostly white, which I do want. But, there's opportunity cost where if I get that shoe, then I can't get another shoe. But overall, if you're thinking about getting these shoes, I think it might be worth a shot. I'm not sure if they'll go on sale anytime soon. And I don't know why they're making it so limited on getting this shoe, whether that's in the high or the low. Like, I don't know why they don't just drop more colorways so that people have more options. I don't know why they don't have more NBA athletes wearing the shoe. It's mainly D'Lo. There might be another player, but as far as I'm concerned, it's mainly D'Lo, which he is good. But I feel like they could promote this shoe a lot more. There's been way more promotion on the Son of Flashes than these shoes, and these shoes are better. This is kind of a spoiler alert, but I would spend $199 on these shoes before I would spend $135 on the Son of Flashes, for indoor use at least. But that is still in the works, but I think that's gonna do it for these shoes at least. These are definitely gonna be in the rotation. if I were to be placing this on my tiered ranking list, then I think this is a pretty easy S tier for me. That means double up, and I do want to double up. I probably won't because I am considering, getting rep Kobe 6s, maybe the LeBron NXTs, maybe the Sabrina Ionescu's when they drop. I probably pass on the Jaws, to be honest. But those are the shoes that I'm like, what's the next up? But that's going to do it for this. Let me know if you have any questions. If you like the content, give it a like. It's free. Subscribing is also free. We just hit 600 subscribers. Pat on the back. There we go. But that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.